pioneer and legend, the Porsche 911, is produced with immense care and attention at Porsche Zuffenhausen, Stuttgart, Germany. This production facility, strongly placed in the historical background of Porsche, harmoniously unites high technology with genuine artisanal craftsmanship to assure every 911 with a unique detail that no other could rival. The production process is complex and involves sophisticated interplay between automated systems of the highest level and highly skilled human labor, so that every car delivered meets all the performance and design standards of Porsche. The Porsche Zuffenhausen plant is pure automotive engineering at its best, from the initial bodywork through final assembly, building the 911 with great speed and perfection. Raw materials are converted into the shape that the world knows best, with the car at the Porsche 911 plant in Zuffenhausen. The body shop is a hotbed of activity, where flesh and blood meet robotic exactness. All processes begin with stamping out parts made from mostly aluminum and steel, on which the majority of the car body panels are made. This is pressed into specific shapes, since there are such massive stamping machines with thousands of tons of force exerted upon them. All presses work with accuracy that ensures every part is formed uniformly as the 911 should be. Then, once pressed, the parts are transferred to the welding area. Hundreds of robotic arms weld, join, and assemble the body parts together into the metal core of the vehicle in this highly automated section. These robots work at incredible speeds and with astonishing accuracy when performing welds with millimeter perfection. The combination of spot welding and laser welding ensures a strong and secure connection between panels. This is quite critical for a sports car like the 911, where structural rigidity impacts both safety and performance. The body structure, referred to as the body in white at this stage, undergoes extensive quality checks. High-tech sensors and scanning systems inspect each weld and connection to ensure structural integrity. Even though much of the work in this stage is automated, human workers play a vital role in overseeing the process. They conduct manual inspections and make adjustments where necessary to ensure the finished body meets Porsche's rigorous standards. The most crucial point of emphasis in the body shop would be the creation of the much-needed lightweight yet strong 911 chassis. Body panels composed of a combination of aluminum and high-strength steel help reduce weight without compromising safety or performance. Such balance between strength and lightness would ultimately serve a very important purpose in realizing what the 911 has long been known for: agility and acceleration. This process the engineers of Porsche have streamlined over decades of innovation, trying to remove a little more weight while still holding it together structurally. Perhaps the most interesting aspect of the body shop process is the totally unobtrusive way that the body shapes the 911 into keeping those iconic curves. More angular forms allow for sharper bends in paneling, while the curves of the 911 are characterized by more flowing lines and therefore require more delicacy in the manufacturing process. In the production line, robotic arms with dedicated tools delicately shape and smooth each panel to just the right contours that are the hallmark of the Porsche 911. This process delivers a pretty look, but also yields very desirable aerodynamics. The body shop point to note is the assembling of the roof and doors, where maximum attention is given to the body shell. This process requires precision in terms of machinery and human judgment also. The workers deal with the roof and door placement in line, with utmost care so that it fits perfectly with regard to the placement of the car's structure. It represents the meshing of machinery with handiwork as it reflects Porsche manufacture. While robots add speed and accuracy to repetitive tasks, humans are the ones which add fine-tuning more intricate jobs so that each 911 becomes hand-built. The emphasis of overall quality control is placed on the car body shop by computers, cameras, sensors, and laser systems constantly monitoring the entire assembly process. Anything that goes out of the specified design has the production of that process held up until corrections are made. Thus, every Porsche 911 body coming out of the shop leaves with no fault and is ready for the next step in the production line. Apart from the finest machinery, the Zuffenhausen body shop is also known for its green production. The plant is developed with energy-saving systems and recycling processes that have limited waste and reduce the ecological footprint of production. For instance, all extra aluminum from the stamping process will be recycled and collected totally without waste. With a commitment to reduce environmental footprints while holding themselves to even higher standards of quality, Porsche can be said to be green. One of the final operations in the body shop is the fitting of windshields and windows. Here, the installation job requires lots of accuracy because glass has to go into the preformed openings within the body. The glass is fitted by robots whose cups possess vacuum suction. After this, adhesives are used to hold it in place firmly. This makes it watertight and airtight as well, and critical to both comfort and performance. Once all the quality checks are cleared, it can be transported to the paint shop stage. But before that, protective coatings are used in the body to resist corrosion and ensure durability for a number of years. This is achieved through several baths, where the whole body is dipped for anti-corrosion coating, so the car stays stable for several years against environmental factors. In a nutshell, what constitutes the process of a body shop at Porsche Zuffenhausen is a very interesting mix of cutting-edge technology and expert handiwork. Starting from the first stamping of raw materials to the last quality check in every detail, the process is carried out with precision and care. While the use of robots and automated systems ensures both speed and accuracy, human workers are the ones providing the expertise and the attention to detail that make every Porsche 911 different from each other. The end result is a body that is lightweight and robust, but at the same time beautifully crafted, an attribute distinctly Porsche thought out each time in every unit produced. From the body shop, the Porsche 911 is then sent to the paint shop, where bare metal becomes the shiny, multicolored car we see today. The paint shop has control protocols against dust and other contaminants that may affect the finishing. The body, before being painted, receives a few pre-treatment processes. First and foremost, it is cleaned and degreased to ensure that the paint adheres well. On top of this, a layer of primer is put so that the color is ensured at the bottom and, of course, secured from corrosion. The entire painting process is fully automated, where at every turn, robotic arms apply coats of paint in uniform fashion. Electrostatic technology ensures that the paint adheres to the car body instead of being wastefully sprayed all over the paint booth. A clear coat is then applied on top of the color coats of painting for the glossy finish and protects the car further from the elements. Every 911 receives a paint scheme at the customer's discretion. There is a very high variety of colors. Painted, the vehicle will then be baked in an oven to cure the paint so the paint dries solid and will last over time. The final stage of the paint shop is inspection for details. Here, highly skilled operatives examine a car in bright light to ensure that the finish is perfect. Any imperfections are corrected prior to the car leaving the paint shop, ready to move on to the next process stage, saddlery. At this end of saddlery, the interior of the Porsche 911 comes to life. Here, luxury meets fine craftsmanship by hand. Masterly artisans create the seats, the dashboard, and other interior trimmings of the car. In fact, it is the attention paid here in the production process that gives every Porsche that luxurious and comfortable feel, which is a perfect complement to the high-performance feeling of a sports car. Porsche offers some of the finest leathers and fabrics to customers who want customized interiors for their 911 models. Only the world's best suppliers of leather are accepted in the market so that it meets the very high quality and durability expected by Porsche. Any form of imperfection in the leather is observed before it is used for cutting or stitching. Only the best are included in the final car because Porsche won't compromise on quality. Once the material has been selected, the cutting begins. In the past, the cutting was purely done manually, while in the contemporary world, Porsche integrates both machine cutting and handcrafting in a manner to achieve precision. The laser-guided machines cut through the leather with a high precision rate, minimum wastage, and fit each part according to its assigned component with complete perfection. The leather goes into stitching after it has been cut. Here is where the saddlery process perfectly exemplifies what goes into making a Porsche. Skilled seamstresses use their hands in stitching every single piece of leather to be used in the seats, the steering, and/or the dashboard. The pattern of stitching can be customized according to the needs and desires of the customers, adding such personalization to each vehicle. Whether it is the oldest of the traditional cross-stitch motifs or the newest of modern stitches, every stitch would be woven under complete care and minute attention to detail. Among the most important parts of the saddlery process lie the seats. Porsche offers different styles of seats, from sporty bucket seats to the luxurious ones that are more comfort-oriented. No matter which style, each one is handcrafted for the balance of comfort and support. The leather is stretched and fitted over the frame of the seat to ensure a snug and secure fit. This part of the process requires skill and strength because the leather fitted here is very tight and does not sag or wrinkle over time. Beyond the seats, the dash and door caps are also done in the saddlery. The dash, one of the focal points in the car's interior space, is done in leathers or other high-grade material for upholstery. This makes for delicate work because the dash must look beautiful and hold various instruments and controls that are mounted on it. Workers are very careful of how the stitching and seams are made straight, hence the smooth and even surface. Customization is an integral element in the saddlery process. Porsche's range of material, colors, and stitching patterns is the widest in the business, so that every detail in the interior of a 911 can be tailored to personal specification. This includes contrasting color stitching and embossing of logos, as well as bespoke color schemes that each owner will use to make their vehicle unique and exclusive to their tastes. Lastly, this car's premium price will be underpinned by the level of craftsmanship. The steering wheel is also one of those pieces that gets special attention. A lot of care is taken in sewing hand-stitched leather onto it for creating an airtight, smooth grip both in the view and in the tactile feel while driving. It is to be so positioned that it doesn't come in the way of movement of the driver's hands. Porsche's experienced saddlers ensure the leather and stitching are tough and ergonomic to stay up with the high-performance car dynamics. Once all the individual parts are fabricated, they are fitted together in the car. This includes seat fitting, dashboards, door panels, and all the other interior furnishings. Each one is examined to fit together perfectly so that not an inch of the seamlessness of the Porsche interior is lost. Alignment and adjustment of seams, for instance, along with the accuracy of fit, are crucial to the luxury-grade quality of the 911. The last saddlery step is a thorough inspection. There is an examination of every inch of the interior by skilled workers to ensure that there are no imperfections in stitching, leather, and general fit. Once defects are found, they are corrected before the car moves on to the next step of production. The very rigid quality control procedure ensures that every Porsche 911 going out of the Zuffenhausen plant is uniformly crafted and ornate for the specific features of the brand. In all, the saddlery work at Porsche's Zuffenhausen plant presents a fine example of traditional craftsmanship blended with modern technology. It is the hands-on work of skilled artisans that gives the Porsche 911 that luxurious and custom-made feel because, while machines take care of precision cutting and assembly, it is the hands-on work that gives it its sense of wonder. Every stitch and seam assures attention to detail, be it the inboard or outboard finish of the car, giving drivers a privileged feeling of comfort inside the car as much as out of its performance. The heart of the Porsche 911 is its engine, and the production of this key component takes place in a dedicated section of the Zuffenhausen plant. Known for its performance and reliability, the 911's flat-six engine is assembled with the utmost care, combining precision engineering with the experience of Porsche's highly trained workforce. Production of the engine commences with several machined parts, including crankshafts, camshafts, and cylinder heads. These are built of only the very best material available since high-performance engines are designed to withstand terrific stress, particularly when driven at high speeds. Machinery applied here is totally mechanized, using advanced technology gadgetry to meet specific requirements that will bring out the performance intended for the engine. Tolerances are incredibly tight, with most components measured on a micrometer to guarantee a perfect fit. After the individual parts are machined, they move on to the line of assembling. There, highly skilled technicians start building the engine, leading from the engine block. There's an exact sequence in which those technicians fit each part into its right order, to the right specifications. Also, each bolt is tightened to an exact specification required for optimal performance and reliability by using digital torque wrenches. Piston and crankshaft fitment can be considered the central element when the engine is assembled, since it is one of the only components transforming the fuel explosion into a rotation that drives the car wheels. The pistons need to be fitted without clearance so as not to create friction while reciprocating within the cylinder walls. The slightest error in fitting may eventually impair the engine's performance or compromise its reliability. The technicians then set about installing the intake and exhaust. To the Porsche 911, these two systems are very crucial as they represent the pathway of air into the engine and the productive expulsion of exhaust gases with minimum resistance. The design of these systems bears a large part in attaining the high performance and efficiency associated with the car. Sounds are also not overlooked in the pursuit of performance. The acoustics of the engine form part of the charm of a Porsche 911. The sound of a Porsche 911 is rather significant in the ultimate control for the right sound. Technicians have to fine-tune the exhaust system so the sound of this engine is a deep resonant growl to be instantly recognizable to any Porsche aficionado. Assembled piece by piece, the engine is then put through thorough testing to meet the high standards of Porsche. The engine is connected to the test stand. It will be placed through several tests simulating and proving its performance. This includes verifying whether the engine at different sets of RPM produces unusual vibrations or sounds. The degree of power produced by the engine should also be confirmed. Problems diagnosed in the test are solved by technicians, so the engine is released with standards met, ready to be installed. Besides the mechanical parts, another aspect of assembly in an engine assembly process is the integration of an advanced electronic system. Today's Porsche engines host a very big assortment of sensors and control units that monitor the actual performance of the engine. These therefore maximize fuel efficiency and ensure that the engine operates within safe parameters of emission and hence stay within a pretty much preventive margin. Such integration is a sensitive process because it is executed by technicians who precisely connect and calibrate each individual component to the engine so that it runs well and efficiently. After the engine has been tested for all checks, it becomes ready for its installation in the automobile. This is after the process of the engine's production stage and after going into the final assembling stage, where the engine is mounted onto the chassis of the car, attached to the transmission, connected to its suspension, and other vital systems. The entire process of producing an engine in Porsche's plant in Zuffenhausen fuses high-tech automation and skilled craftsmanship. One engine after another is constructed under the stringent requirements whereby every component part is specified and subsequently machined, assembled, and checked in such a way that it meets the performance and reliability expectations of a Porsche 911. Quality is what makes a 911 a legend in performance. It is simply one of the most revered sports cars in the world. Everything is brought together in the assembly stage at the Porsche plant in Zuffenhausen to form the final product that, yes, will be the completed Porsche 911. It is the stage wherein all the heart of the car and its body, alongside complex electronic systems, come into being, all put together to ensure that every 911 is taken to perfection. It involves advanced robotics, precise engineering, and high-skilled craftsmanship, all important factors that help to maintain the quality set by the Porsche brands. The starting point is the chassis, or the body in white. This production stage comes from the paint shop. It has been painted and checked so that now all the major components can be installed. Step by step, every production stage in the assembly line in Zuffenhausen is arranged and designed in the most efficient and free of errors way possible. Each automobile part is assigned a position on the assembly line, and the workers are assisted by automatic systems to deliver the right component at the appropriate time. One of the most important first steps in the assembly is bringing the engine and transmission together with the chassis. This is sometimes poetically known as the marriage in car parlance, and it comes perhaps at one of the most critical times in the making of the Porsche 911. With great ceremony, the engine mounted, exhaustively assembled and tested in a separate area of the plant is lowered into the back of the car. There, precision is vital because it should be guaranteed that the engine is perfectly aligned with the mounts of the chassis for optimum performance and safety. The transmission which connects the engine to the drivetrain is also installed during this phase. Technicians ensure that every connection from the drive shaft to the gearbox is secure and aligned to perfection. Porsche's rear engine layout requires particular attention to detail during this step, as the positioning of the engine and transmission affects the car's balance and handling, key aspects of the 911's driving dynamics. During installation, another crew gets the engine and transmission, whereas suspension, braking systems, and all other mechanical units are fitted in by another team. This system, finely tuned to near perfection by the engineers at Porsche, assures the precise handling and performance for which the 911 has become famous. For example, the suspension system is well tuned to strike a trade-off between comfort and sportiness, so it could handle corners at high speeds, yet be nice for normal use. While the mechanical installation goes on, other hands work at setting up the inside. Seats, dash, and all saddlery given are installed with much care. Each one was fitted with accuracy, with no wrinkles in the seams, only perfect panel alignment. In this phase, all electronic systems are also integrated and wired by the technicians through harnesses of wiring, control units, and sensors that power advanced safety and performance systems of 911. Another critical feature of Porsche's manufacturing process is the in-shop installation of its high-tech electronic systems. Any modern Porsche 911 rolls out of the factory equipped not only with driver assistance like adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist, but also with a myriad of sensors scanning continuously around the car. All such systems demand fine-tuning to a high precision level so that they can function correctly, and, by that very reason, diagnostic tools at the disposal of Porsche technicians must ensure every sensor and electronics component is functioning within specifications. Then come the wheels, both symbolic and functional. With wheels attached to the car, now for the first time in all that assembly, a product is finally able to work on its own power, the most significant step of all. Each and every Porsche 911 has its own set of wheels and tires, thoroughly matched to complement an acceptable specification of performance. High-performance tires, with care and precision, are mounted in balanced sets to match the driving requirement. At this stage, when all the major mechanical, electronic, and interior components have been fitted onto the Porsche 911, a quality control process takes place. This is one of the most rigorous quality control stages at any stage in the production process because every part of the car is properly scrutinized to ensure that it meets Porsche's high standards for quality. Workers examine every detail of the car, including how well the body panels are aligned to how effective the electronic systems are. For the first time, they start the engine, and the technicians listen diligently for such unusual sounds and vibrations that might be a sign of trouble. In addition to those inspections, it is linked through a computerized system that checks the performance of the engine, transmission, as well as electronic systems. This makes sure that everything's in order and that the car is ready for the final stages of its production. One of the final stages of the assembly process involves the installation of windows, windscreens, and outer trims. All these components are fit together with tremendous precision to ensure that the closures would be watertight and airtight. Headlights, taillights, and all other exterior lighting will be installed and tested at this stage. The final process is the dynamic tests, which include a dynamic test of car movement through a test track after driving. At this point, technicians take the 911 through a set of driving conditions and test the acceleration, braking capabilities, and handling of the car. Because such testing actually occurs in real-world conditions, each car can deliver performance as well as the kind of driving experience that Porsche owners expect. In the entire production process, you feel how much Porsche would have committed to quality. From every inspection down to every control, the final product is nothing but perfect. Using high-tech robotics and automation, precision is expected, and skilled technicians are here to bring that human touch, so every car will feel hand-built, despite the high-tech assembly line. The final stage in the production process of Porsche 911s is the test facility, where every car is subjected to strict testing processes to ensure that it meets Porsche's standards on high performance and security. Every 911 will go through a range of dynamic tests that represent actual conditions, as drivers may anticipate them to be. The acceleration, braking, and handling maneuvers represent different conditions under which an engineer can evaluate the performance of a car. There is a track and high-end testing equipment at this facility meant to watch the suspension, engine, and electronic systems in action. Engineers run diagnostic tools to monitor behaviors in the car and likely issues that might come along the way of the performance of the car. The goal is that every Porsche 911 should surpass the expectations of its future owner and exceed them as well. This testing facility is not only concerned with high-performance tests, but also checks the comfort and noise levels of the car. It's considered one of the very few places where sound engineers test and listen to unwanted noises or vibrations within the cabin of the car for the smooth flow and quietness, even at high speeds. Thus, at the last stage, it ensures that every Porsche 911 meets that perfect mixture of luxury, performance, and reliability before being delivered to a customer.